So I've been sending you some links. Have you been able to listen
Yes.
to the most recent one? I sent it very well, middle of the night, 1:25 a.m. That's when I sent it.
Yeah. Is it? No, this one came at 6:37 now.
Oh, okay.
The
I
most
sent I
recent.
sent it at 1:25
Oh.
on my phone, so maybe it showed up on yours at 6.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? Give some ideas of what to do.
Yes,
I
I
think
I like.
7 things.
Yes, 7 things. I like the video because those are key things that again it all boils down to intentionality. Hello, ma, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So it all boils down to the two of us, watching that video again, even this night, speaking about it, and then be more intentional because one of the things that it mentioned about not yelling at each other,
Mm,
you have to decide that and make sure it doesn't happen.
mm,
So the other things also that you mentioned there, saying I love you every night.
yes.
Um, I've forgotten the other ones. I know those two. Hello, ma.
Yeah, I can hear you. Um, I like number one and number two. Hi,
Mm.
Tayo. Hi, Tayo.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening. Even your voices are sounding different. Because the reality is we don't even know if we can wake up in the morning. Yeah. If you're going to date me, we have to agree on 7. Never go to bed mad or sleep on the
Mm.
bed.
And then one date night a week.
Yes, one date night a week. Not that you have to follow all this, but
Mm.
they are good guidelines. Every couple creates their own.
Mm.
Yeah. So, have you been able to listen to the link I sent today? One more time. Eh?
The one this is some cheap.
It's some
You want to bring it for me down.
you have not listened to it. I didn't hear you, Tayo.
Oh, Ella, I didn't hear what you said.
I said, have you been able to listen to the link that I
You
sent?
sent today.
Yes.
No, ma, I've not been able to. I've been offline because I was busy at work.
Okay. So they're usually less than 3 minutes. So I just ask that you take time to listen. Just usually for me, first thing in the morning is when I get a lot of things done. And for me, before I go and work out at 6. And for me, that means waking up either 3:30 or 4 a.m. 4 a.m. I'm finding is late now because there's a lot I want to get done. But I would like you to make your relationship priority. It's priority because you're dealing with a human being and you're dealing with yourself, your business, your work, everybody, everything. Everybody should wait till you get you right. That's why I spend that amount of time in the morning doing this, doing that, reading this, studying that, meditating, praying, all of it. The time is just not enough. There's a lot to do. So please make that a priority. When you are young, married couples, getting into that race, that hustle culture, that you've got to make money, you've got to do this.
Yes, ma.
There's a better way. That's not what you were created for. No one was created for that. Otherwise, why would he say, come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest? Why would he say, labor to enter into my rest? so that you can cease from your own work. That means toil, the way he has ceased from his. Why did he say, if they that keep their mind stayed on me, I will keep in perfect peace? Not just peace, but perfect peace. Both words mean shalom, they both mean peace, perfect and peace, but it's almost saying it twice over. So you need to find where that place is. And that place is, you see, that place is not separate from you. It's not going to a physical place. It's actually going to a spiritual place and living that way and practicing it. I have a naturally big voice, but not over the last year. I've learned to calm it down. Just keep, just talk gently. Even if somebody's shouting at me, I talk gently, very quietly. Somebody's angry, I still, and I can match anger for anger, voice for voice. I can even do more than that. Push you, pull you, throw you, kick you, stab you. I can do crazy things. So I say, where does that get me? It makes me noisy and tired and flustered. I'm all over the place. But that's not what I was created for. So if you get that from the get-go at this time in your lives, that's what your kids will see. You don't have to teach them. They will emulate what they see. And they will one day be asking you, why are you so gentle? Why didn't you shout back at that man? Why didn't you scream? So it's for both of you to cultivate that gentility, that ease, and the peace, and the stillness, not even in your business, when you are, maybe when they get to the salon, you serve water or whatever, and you are doing it with deliberation, and you're asking them questions with deliberation. You're not saying, hey, so I have, you have a client in front of you and somebody else comes, please, it's my turn. The one behind said, no, excuse us, please. May I just finish with this client? I go when you go shopping, you're waiting for that lady to finish buying her ugu, and because you are behind and you want to buy Maggie, you are talking over her. Hey, please let me just get. It's just so rude. When I get there, I don't do that. So they say, hey ma, the person selling will stop talking to the person they are talking to who got there before me, and start talking over and say, ma, what's because they are desperate. They don't want to lose that sale. And there's no need for the desperation. I have come to stand in front of you and I'm standing. I can see other people selling exactly what you are selling, but I'm standing there. That attitude will, the relaxed attitude will keep me staying with you. But if I find that you're rude and you're all over the place, I will leave because I don't like that kind of energy. And so when they ask me, ma, what do you want, ma? I will say you're helping that person. Look at you, you're helping her now. Finish with her. She has finished. She has finished. I'm just cutting the ugu. It will take long. I say, yes, I know. Let it take long. I will wait my turn. And they look at me like, is she okay? And true, I will wait. When they finish, I will go. I sorry, when they finish, that person will go. Then it's my turn. If she dares to talk to somebody standing behind me, I will tell her off straight. Please do not do that. So it is that hustle, git. We only have 24 hours in a day. Hey, let me make all the money. You don't need to do that. Richard, you too, you don't need to do that. So at work, anywhere. In fact, the more scattered you are, the less efficient you are, the less
Mhm.
excellent you are at
Yeah.
your work. You will miss things. And because there is already a culture in our society of missing things and you don't care, Shebi, we have done it. We don't want to do that because who we are is who we are. Who we are at home is who we are going to be at work. You can't fake it. You can't be one person at work and one person at home. That's a person that has issues with their personality. So when people say, I know I don't do that here, that is a lie. You are one person, you are not two, you are one. So if you're getting angry at home, you get angry at work. I say, hey, go, you can go. Don't come back here. We are not selling to you or whatever. Don't do that. All right. How has the last 2 weeks been?
Okay. So the last 2 weeks had been fine. No, I don't think we've had any fights. It's been great. Just committing to the things that we decided to do, being more patient,
Mm-hmm.
trying to be more understanding, trying to be more. Spicy has been very, 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 very supportive.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Oh, yeah, I think the intimacy part also. I think I would say it's 25 to 30% improvement.
Okay. And why not 100%? What is missing for you?
I think the part of maybe just talking more together on issues. So it's not like we did not. Okay, I think we've been talking actually. Let me not say 25 to 30. I just remember some few moments that we had and talked about something. So I can say up to 60 or 70 actually.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we're basically around things that we wanted to do and also providing um, um, confidence, inspiring, motivating words to each other, um, encouraging words. And that's the word I'm looking at. So I remember when, okay, I did mention that last month, or the last month, they slashed my salary by half.
They what?
But
They
they
did
cut,
what?
yes, for
Uh-huh.
last month.
Okay. As in, is that what you're going to be earning now, or that was
No,
just
no,
for
no, just
last
for
month?
last month.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because of there was a video campaigns project that we were doing, and then it didn't come out well basically, and I was the person in charge, and it wasn't. I wouldn't totally say it was because of my fault. It was because we were very much understaffed, and I was basically the only person trying to manage the whole logistics of putting together the video with vendors and a lot of things. So I missed some things that affected the whole outcome.
Mm-hmm.
But the company understood
Mm-hmm.
and now bore 70% of the costs
Mm-hmm.
of the video. So the 30% was now what affected me.
Okay. Are they going to
So,
pay it later, or they
no.
have taken it off? Okay. So let us oh man, that's so crazy. So let us deal with that, please.
Okay.
You are right, it was your fault. But the fact that you actually took that up in the midst of being understaffed, that too is your fault. Because they're not
Mm.
going to hire anybody else until you say something. And when you say it and they don't do it, you will go into the office in the morning and you will say, hold on, there's something God said I should do before I do this. You know, there was something you said about Tayo. You said Tayo has been very, 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 very supportive. And what that reminded me of is Proverbs 31, verse 11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. I want to use another translation. And I'm simply saying it because for you to have said that, that means
Okay. While
she
you are looking for it, let me just add one more thing.
yes,
So because of that,
yes,
anyway, in that period, I had mentioned that to them also, the thing of being understaffed and not just hiring what they want to hire, but hiring the hands that will actually help the team and the
yes,
people.
yes.
So I wrote an email and I told the CEO about the whole thing. So, and then they have actually done it.
What have
So,
they done?
so they hired 2 more people.
Yes.
So one extra, okay, we'll call it content creator, one extra content creator, and one graphic designer. So in that sense, what it did is relieve a lot of pressure from me and from even the one other person that was working. So because
Okay.
at that time it was basically a team of 2 people, but now it's a team of 6 people now.
6.
Yes.
Were
So
they
me,
there? Were they there
yeah,
before the video or after the video thing?
it was after the video thing. That's when they came.
That was a huge mistake on your part. But this is really, let me do it the way I'm hearing God say it. So we'll carry on just a second. Proverbs 31 verse 11. Her husband trusts her from his heart, and she will prove a great asset to him. That's the complete Jewish Bible translation. Amplified Classic says, the heart of her husband trusts in her confidently and relies on and believes in her securely, so that he has no lack of honest gain or need of dishonest spoil. Her husband trusts her without reserve and never has reason to regret it. Uh, yeah. Never spiteful, she treats him generously all her life. I think a huge, well done, Omotayo, because for your husband to say that, that means something else is coming through you, from you to him. And it's you that's doing that by the grace of God. Well done. There is something ugly we were taught as women, or that was going around. A man is strong, he's meant to handle everything, he should know everything, he can't miss it, he can't mess up. After all, he's a man, he should occupy the man's position. It doesn't, it's yes, he's supposed to do that, but he's supposed to get help in doing that. So you wonder why a man, some men are neat, that's how they are. Some men are not, that's how they are. And even when they are neat, they are still going to see some things that are out of sync, out of whack, because they are meant to be helped. There is no point having a wife if she's not a help meet suitable for him. It's different when you do what you do and he totally ignores it or he's oblivious of it. Even then, there is no reason and no excuse not to keep walking in love, living right with another person, right? My daughter got married in 2016 in when I was there in April. She she said yes, my divorce papers have come. So they were married for what, 8 years, or was it even up to 8 years? They separated in December last year. It could have been fixed, but she was just and I'm okay. Do what you want to do. Carry on, see how life is, you know. And as I was listening to some videos and all that, I thought, this is it. Just do little things to serve one another. Not, I was watching a Nollywood movie. They got married within 2 months. They were fighting, arguing. "Oh, you didn't put the toilet lid down. You didn't clean this. Why haven't you washed plates? Feed me, but you got home before me. You should have cleaned this." But I was just like, what is this? And then the counselor that they eventually went to meet said, I'm not trying to make you people come together, because they decided they were going for a divorce. I'm not trying to make you people come together. No problem. If you want to go apart, that's fine. She said, but when one person is not doing what they should do, it's nothing stops you from stepping in and doing it. And for both sides. So they started doing that. The bed was a mess, everything was all over the place. She went and she made it. She was about to call him. Then she said, okay. He got into the kitchen, plates were unwashed, place was messy. He started washing it, he started cleaning it. And that was, they were feeding off, they were leaving behind a good energy, atmosphere. Sometimes you think it's unfair, it's unfair. That's when you are not walking in the spirit. You're not living in the spirit, you're not walking in it. You're still expecting him or you're expecting her to do this. One of the easiest places to live, be at ease, is just to serve one another, not to sit back and why hasn't he done this? Once you have that thought, carry yourself and say, he hasn't done it, it's okay, let me do it. And we can talk about it later that yesterday, the bed was unmade. Today again, the bed was unmade. He would not have noticed because guys don't see some things. We count it, we see it, we notice it. She misses something, or she says she's coming and she's occupied with this, that, then something else comes on, she totally forgets. You can talk about it later, but even when you talk about it lovingly. So, Omotayo, thank you. It looks as if you've made I don't believe in 360-degree turn, because 360 means you've come back to the same place. I believe in 180, you are facing this way and you are now on the opposite. So talk to me, yes, Tayo, please. Talk to me.
Thank you so much, Ma.
You're welcome.
Okay, so it was actually everything he said is right. It's been the past couple of weeks has been much more peaceful than the former ones. So, and I think one of the things that contributed to it was a dream I had where God was. I woke up panting and crying. I could not even narrate it to him at that moment because every time I want to narrate it, I was shivering seriously.
Oh wow!
So he had to tell me to just wait till the morning before I tell him. So my interpretation of the dream was just God. Okay, the dream was that I woke up in the morning.
Do you want me to record it? Should I pause the recording, or you want?
You can record now. You
Okay.
can record. I don't mind.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So it was like our normal days when we wake up in the morning. Everybody's trying to get ready for work. So in the dream, it was like I saw him going. He was rushing off to work. And I saw Esomchi, our son. He was halfly dressed. He wasn't dressed properly. And in the dream, it was like it was the one that was supposed to do that. And it's like it wasn't the first time he would do that, just not dress him up properly and rush off. And then every day I will complain about it. But that particular day in the dream, I was angry that he didn't dress him up properly. But instead of calling him and talking about it or being angry about it, I decided to follow him to where he was always rushing off to, because I was like, why is he always rushing off? So I followed him. And while doing that, it was as if when I followed him to a point, it was looking like a jungle, like I was following him into like a path, like a jungle. So when I got to that point, it wasn't only him anymore. There were like other men on a street line, and they were all looking like zombies, like they were being controlled to come over. So I and some other women who were like us wives as well. So we started following them, and then it got to a point where it was like they were killing them. They were evil forces were killing the men. So some wives were already crying and all. So it was like when they killed them, there is a collection point where the family members or the wives will go and collect their bodies. So I and some women, instead of crying, we just started praying. We started praying, and there was a song I was singing in the dream. I even sang it till I woke up. It was this Waymaker, Miracle Worker. That was the song. So I started singing the song, we're praying, and it was as if it was almost at the point where they would do that to him. But we started praying, and it was in the midst of crying, shouting, and praying in the dream. That was where I woke up. Wow. So my interpretation of the dream was like, it was basically what you've always told me, which is stop talking so much. Instead, try to help. Because for me, it was like, okay, if I didn't follow him that day, if I had shouted or been angry the way I would always be, I wouldn't have been there to be able to rectify what would have been done to him.
Mm.
That was my interpretation of it. So it was like God telling me that this man needs you. You are a unit.
Mm.
Because obviously, if he was killed in quotes the way others were in the dream, it would affect me as well.
Of
So it's
course.
not just him; it's a family thing.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
both of us. So it was like we need each other. He needs me. I need him. So that was my interpretation of the dream.
Jesus. That's the kind of dream you can't forget. And the message goes home.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow. How did you feel about it when she told you?
I felt like God was just speaking to us, because inside the dream I still saw a message for myself.
What was it?
The message was, every day you wake up and walk out and you rush into what is going to get you killed.
Oh,
So you are rushing to, yeah. So you are rushing out every day. You go and you are bit that zombie thing, just walking into that zombie. So it's more like, in the normal secular business, it's like this what's that thing? Treadmill. Is that what they call this round something that you are just going round the clock kind of thing? Hello?
yeah, I'm here. Can you not
Okay.
hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. So that kind of thing. So you're just walking into something. So there's basically what I'm doing now that is wrong. That is not, that is going into is leading into the wrong path.
Mm.
So, and so that's one of the things that also I've been praying about, that God should redirect there's a prayer I've made to God in terms of clarity,
Mhm.
which I'm believing that I'll get an answer to that's an idea I'm having. I'm like, okay, God, if this is it, this is how I would hope that you give me, or I would want that you give me a clarity in this area so that I will know. So, but aside that, I know that the major thing for me is not just like the things that you say, not trying to be in that hustle mode, because especially as I said, we started talking about having rest, doing things from a place of rest, knowing that God will not go to put you into struggle and strife for what He has already promised you.
Mm.
So operating from that point. So that's and so having that 180-degree turn
Yep.
back to what it is that God has called me to be doing,
Yes.
which is the king making.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is the king making, which is the things that I already know, that He has given me, the ideas and everything that He has given me in terms of, teaching, sharing knowledge, coaching, mentoring, and all those things. So,
And owning an agency that will deliver all the other aspects of the
yeah,
business that I remember you did some of it for me, you do it for
yeah,
others, rather than doing it yourself. Even if
exactly,
you just hire different people to do it, they are not,
exactly.
yeah, so they are not like permanently working with you, but you can call on them whenever
Mm,
you need them and they'll get the work done. But
yes, just
so
like
carry on.
yes, it's just like, because one of the major persons that God has been impressing in my heart to follow is Victor Bassi. And it's not now that he started. It's been right from
Yes, from the
2014.
beginning. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I met him before
I
he even started
remember.
Highly Paid Experts Network.
Okay.
So, and I've followed his work. He's the only person that really, when it comes to like business coaching, that I listen to and value what they do. Not just because of what they say, but how they say it, and the depth also. It's not gimmicks. So, and especially also because of the validation, because I know my book, Territorial Domination, he he wrote me the forward, and in that forward he said that he didn't read my book once, that he read it 3 times because it was that good.
Oh wow.
So and that validation also from him. So basically following his work. And one other thing I wanted to point out regarding him was that I know that I think he has a branch of his business where he does all those, the things I was doing for you, but it's not him that does that.
Yes, yes.
He has Prime Media Communications, and he has a CEO, somebody that runs that as a business on its
As a
own.
business, yes, yes.
So that's another thing I believe God wanted me to pick out and learn from that.
Fantastic. I think you should read everything that he writes, because I'm in his Quantum Leap Challenge. You should read everything that he writes, and I know you've worked with him before, because I remember you told me you saved up money to pay him, so you could
Yes.
him. And you should have some of those resources. Although I know he has stepped up, he has increased in terms of his knowledge and all that. But if that's the person, go. Now, this is what I want to say. The only reason Christians are always asking for clarity. One would think that God uses things and rubs mud on it so that you will not see it clearly. That's just our way of saying, I'm afraid to step out into this thing. But I want assurance. Once I step out, work, I make money, it will be successful, it will be fantastic. It doesn't work like that. The only way it works well is you doing that by faith. Faith does not mean just go out blindly, it will work. No, that's not. Faith actually means that you live by substance and evidence that you cannot see and you cannot touch and you cannot, because that's what faith is. Substance of what you are still hoping for, meaning you don't have it. Evidence of what you can't see. If you can't see, that means there is no evidence. But that is what your faith is. And not the faith that the way they've taught us in church. It's the faith of you living Galatians 5:25. If you live in the spirit, walk also in the spirit. It's not mincing words. It does not say if you have the flesh on and you have a body, your soul, you've got to be aware of your soul and your flesh, your body. No, it leaves those two. It says if you live in the spirit. It says if, but some people don't. And that is after it talks about the fruit of the spirit. Before it talks of the fruit of the spirit, it speaks of the flesh. How does it put it? The flesh, the works of the flesh. For the spirit, they are fruits. For the flesh is work, toil, hard work. So it goes like from verse 18, Galatians 5:18, 19, 20, then 21. Then it's after that, that's when he's finished talking about the works of the flesh, and there's a lot there. Then he talks about the fruit of the spirit: love, joy, peace, goodness, kindness, meekness, long suffering. It talks about those. Then it says after that, it says that if you live in the spirit, because you cannot bear fruit, spiritual fruit, if you are not a spiritual tree. You cannot bear apples if it's not an apple tree. So it says, if you live in the spirit, walk also in the spirit. So what we have been taught in church is to worship a spirit God. It says, I am spirit. But what we do is we go into our flesh to worship him. We want the feelings and all the cleanness and all, and all that. But it is what you are not aware of. Once you are unaware of something, then you can't relate with it. Once you're unaware of something, you are not conscious of it. That means you can't relate with it. If Omotayo, if Omotayo knew I was coming in today, we have a session today, but you were not aware, you will not show up. Probably come back from work, eat, and just say, oh, let me just sit down and rest. We are not going to bed yet. And you'll be dozing on the chair. Don't you know we have this session? possession. You are unaware. What you're unaware of, you cannot relate with it. You don't know it's there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it is that being aware of that invisible realm, that spiritual realm, that place where God is. And because he says you are his temple, that means he's in that invisible God is inside you as his temple. But the first thing he made was your spirit. Then in chapter 2 of Genesis, he covered you up with flesh. Then he says, and God, how did he say, molded, not molded, like there's a word he used when he was putting the body. Okay, something's wrong with this new version today. It's all mixed up. It's verse chapter 2, and it says, and the Lord and out of the ground, 2:19, the Lord God formed every beast of no, no, no. And the Lord God said, it's no good that man be alone." No. And God formed, verse 7, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. I asked, I said, what are you forming man for again? You've already created him in verse 27 of Genesis 1. But Genesis 2:7, he formed man of the dust of the ground, and then he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. But in Genesis 1:27, it says, God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. He did not create man in chapter 2. He just formed the body. So when we say dust to dust, when a person dies, that their body is going back to the dust. It's going to mingle with whatever it is. That's why I love the way the Muslims bury their dead. They just wrap them in a cloth, drop them in the ground, because they're going to rot and the body will rot. But the spirit is still quite alive. Well, spirits don't die. Male and female created he them. So God created man in his own image, in the image of God created he him. And in John 4, it says that God is spirit. So when God created you in his image, he created you spirit. He didn't create you body, because his image is not a body made of flesh and
Mm.
bones. His image is spirit. So that's what you want to always realize, that who you are is not the form of your face and your arms and how tall you are. You are spirit, period. And you don't see spirit, but you are conscious that there is spirit. You are so you and that's right across the board. Everything. But it's a new way of thinking. Well, it's not new. It's the way we are created to live. And then after verse 28 of Genesis 1, in verse 29, he started talking. He said, be fruitful, multiply. Who was he talking to? You didn't have the flesh on then. He was still talking to your spirit. Spirit speak to spirit. God's spirit spoke to your spirit. Because that was all he could speak to anyway, because there was no body and there was no soul at that time. But if you go up to verse 26 of Genesis 1, and then God created, in verse 26, it says, let us make man in our own image and after our likeness, so that we have dominion. He already said that dominion thing before he said, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and have dominion. He said that dominion thing twice. He said the reason for your creation is so you have dominion. You and your wife, not just you, and not just wife. Both of you, because male and female created he them. So he was saying, are these people, once I create these entities or these spirits that look like me, they are going, the aim is so they can have dominion. That's the aim of your creation. So you have dominion, not over people, but over the fish of the sea. It's not over humans, over the fish of the sea, the birds, the land. So you have dominion. So you should wake up. Your name is beautiful, the Kingmaker. It just speaks. You wake up with the sense of I have dominion. So God, where is how do I where is it? How do I pick it up? If you spend time in the place of prayer, and we're supposed to be looking at wedding day versus marriage. Wedding day is one day, marriage is a lifetime. That's the main difference. So when you divide it like that, you realize all the cloud cuckoo, romantic, that's just for a day. They are for moments. And it's only the flesh that can enjoy that. But once you are thinking at the level of spirit, if you live at that level, that means you are thinking at that level. If you walk at that level, that means you are thinking at that level. You can't live without thinking. So you will realize that you've come down to being carnally minded, not spiritually minded. That's Romans 8:6. So he's saying you can't be carnally minded. It can't be about your flesh, how you feel. Did I eat? Am I asleep? Am I awake? That's not how it works. It is to be spiritually minded, he says, is life and peace. He says minded, meaning your thoughts are, you think spiritually, you don't think physically. And it's long. I'll see if I can get one of my, I'll probably send you a link where you can, you see, this requires you listening, learning, reading over and over and over. Like that guy, Nero, that I told you to listen to. Have you shared it
Yes,
with your wife?
please.
Have you
Okay, I've not shared it with her. I just mentioned it to her.
Okay, okay. Let her to be learning, but that's not just him. Anything by Neville Goddard. Yeah,
By who?
Neville. Let me write it.
Okay. Let me share it with her now.
Anything by Neville. I've written it in the chat. Neville Goddard on YouTube. Start with the short videos. 5 minutes. All the shorts. YouTube shorts. Neville Goddard. Yeah, narrow knowledge. Yeah. YouTube shorts. Just start with small videos and then go. Don't go and be listening to 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. Just start with the 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and listen slowly, gently, and you start to get it. You start to get it. You start to get it. You realize eventually, you realize that you don't have to wait for anything. You know, we talk about God being in a place where there is no space, there is no time, there is no this, there is no that. That's where God is. That's exactly where you are. But since you are not aware of it, you go to work and you wait for your salary at the end of the month. Because for you to go from point A to point B, there is time. So that's 30 days. Between today and tomorrow and your next salary, okay, so maybe it's 10 days now, but you've been waiting since the 1st of November for it. You don't wait like that in the things of the spirit. You're not waiting. You know, look at the dream your wife had. Look at everything that happened in a few minutes. That's not, spiritual things don't happen long, like carnal, in the natural, physical realm, material realm. Spiritual things just happen. Pa, 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 pa. They just look at how long that dream was, but in minutes, and look how profound it was, that it affected her so much that she couldn't even talk about it when she wanted to. And then what you took from it as well. And what I have got from it is, wow, how many of husbands and how many of our husbands are rushing off. I've got to go and make money. I've got to go and this. I've got to help her. I've got to this. Why are we rushing? We should be living from a place of peace. Even when I'm praying, when I wake up early and I'm doing it, I'm thinking, oh my God, I have 15 minutes. I say, stop it, Kemi. Oh, let me work out while I am listening to. No, Kemi, stop it. Slow down. It's not that rushing around. It is being spiritually minded, and it's what you practice. You calm down. You don't have to speed. The things that you require will come to you. They will speed to you. You don't rush after them. You have dominion. So you command those things from a place of rest, of peace, stillness, of quietness, of ease. I came up to my bed at 7:11. No, no, about 6:45, just before 7 p.m. this evening. Cleared all my stuff from downstairs because I could work down at the dining table, reading this, typing that, doing PhD, doing my business. I just ate. I ate before 6 and I cleaned up and I went to bed. I said I will be here till it's time for our session. And then after I go to sleep. I don't think I've come up this early before. Well, okay, if I'm not feeling too well, I would, but I'm feeling very strong. I'm good. And I came up early. It's easy. I can be quiet. I thought, oh, I haven't done it. They say it's okay. I will do it when I get upstairs. But if I don't do it, I don't do it. In fact, it's okay.
Mm.
So just chilling, you find things are so much easier. Well, listen to both of you, please. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, anything. But once you see Neville Goddard, just listen. There's so many other people that you can listen to, and but you be getting it once you start checking on all these metaphysical things. That's what they are. Metaphysical. Meta meaning out of this world. Physical meaning physical world. So metaphysical really is the spiritual beyond the physical world. That's what meta means. So interesting when Mr. Facebook called his own meta. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Because many people don't, Christians are the ones who don't understand what that word means. I used to run away from it. Metaphysical. Hey, evil. That's what I called it. I never studied it, never asked questions about it. And that's just not. So make time. You must make time. That's why you go to bed early, so that you can wake early. President, is it Frank? Is it Frank? Is it Lincoln? Was something Franklin or Lincoln? He said he had to be in bed by 10:30, so he could be up at 4:30 a.m.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
that's a whole president. He had to be. So I started copying it, and it makes life easier. My body, I don't need the alarm. My body wakes up.
Even me, I prefer that early mornings.
Yes, that's when I can work. Because at night I'm now tired, so
Mm.
a lot won't get done. But early morning, then go out and work out, come back and carry on. You are good. But it's something everybody needs to practice. Because you have a little child, one person does their own, then the other person takes the child, or you share whatever it is. But make sure that you are listening to walking, living in the spirit and walking in the spirit. Understanding is this old men that used to write in the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, that they wrote about these things, but we did not get it. We dumped down and we went into carnal living. And you know, the carnality church talks about is when you sin. That's not what that means. It just means living through your flesh, your physical matter, material matter. When I see it in my hand, then I know I've got it. That's not living by faith. And you cannot please God any other way because He is spirit. God is not human. You can't please Him any other way but by living by faith. In fact, He says we shall not live by sight, but by faith. But in church, we live by sight. Hey, I prayed for that thing. God has not given it to me. But you've received it already. He says when you pray and you believe, you do not doubt. Believe you have received and you shall have it. That means it's not in your hand yet physically, but it is in your hand by faith. And you see it with different eyes. You depart from this physical. That's why meditation is important. That's why if you are meditating now about your new job, your new work, You wake up in the morning, before you write anything, before you go anywhere, you meditate, you see what it will look like. That's what God did in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. When the earth was without form and void, it says, and the Spirit of God moved over the face of the waters, moved over the face of the deep. If you look up the meaning of that word moved, it means to muse, to brood. When you are brooding on something, you sit on it like a chicken putting its eggs, its hens. You sit on the egg to give it a certain temperature so that it develops into chicks. As have you ever considered that egg and yolk that we beat together and we eat? It becomes a chick. How does that happen? How does something liquid become something solid with ice? How? How? That is still baffles me, amazes me. Those are the kind of things you think on to understand the magnitude of this God. That you and him are one. I was meditating on that this morning and I was struggling. I say, hey, and I are one. Hey, that means what you do, I can do. In fact, 1 John 4:6 says, we are of God. We are of him. We come out of him. We are of him. A chick is of a chicken. A human is of a human. A lion is of a lion. So a baby lion came out of a mommy lion. Then verse 17, 1 John 4 says, for as he is, so are we in this world. It was middle of the night, I was muttering it. I kept muttering it, kept saying it, kept saying it, kept saying it. I said, as you are, I am. Then it got to a point where I said, so how are you? Because exactly how you are is how I am. You parted the Red Sea, that's who I am. I can part the Red Sea. Somebody who was blind for 38 years, you gave them sight. That means that's what I do too. You said that you've come to give abundance. You've come to give me life, and that life in abundance. That means I have it. I have abundant life. I said, and so you've come to give me abundance. That you can't give me what you are not. So God, you are abundance. You are abundant. So you have poured out of yourself abundance. Since I am one with you, 1 Corinthians 6:17. He that is joined to the Lord is one spirit. It doesn't say one body. The verse before that, verse 16 says, a man who is joined to a harlot is one flesh. Then after that, verse 17, it says, and he that is joined to the Lord is one spirit. It's impossible for God to be one flesh, for you to be one flesh with his spirit. It's your spirit and his spirit that's joined. So you are one spirit. It doesn't say two spirits. It says one. Like you and your wife are one. Not, oh, I want this and you want that. No, there is no disconnect. There is only a connection. So for healing, for abundance, for prosperity in every form, and I realize it's not just prosperity money, abundance houses, abundance pens, abundance laptops, abundance fans, abundance ACs, abundance houses, abundance villages, whatever I want. And then I imagined God saying, let there be light, and light said, no, I'm not coming. In the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was God. All things were made for him. In him, all things consist. So since I'm one with him, all things that I need are in me too. We are not separate. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Tayo, am I making sense?
Yes, ma, you are, ma.
Okay, so thank you. So this is how to think about your marriage. It's not, oh, she's missing it, he's missing it. Nobody can miss anything. You are one with God. You are one. God can't miss it, you can't. It's not possible. So that's how to think. Any other way of thinking is being carnally minded. Being carnally minded, meaning it's your thoughts that set your mind. So what thoughts are you entertaining? At the beginning, all this thinking will keep coming back. But the more you practice thinking spiritually, the more, the closer you bring those things and the quicker they come to you without hustle, hustle. And you don't give up. You stay there. You say the day an element says no to God, that's the day you say no to me. You will speak over your son, speak over your wife. Your wife gone will speak over you, speak over her son. You will talk about the kind of house you're moving to later. You will see it in your mind's eye, and you will see it as many times a day as you want. I'm moving house because this is my brother's house. Our mom has gone now. I have to move into one of our parents' properties. Uh, Quite a distance, almost 2 hours from here. But we are still in Lagos. And I have meditation times on my phone. The alarm will go off. Meditate on moving house. That's what it says. Meditate on moving house. That's what it says. So I keep quiet, close my stopwatch and do minimum 5 minutes. And I just see the house. Today I was thinking on the fridge. Was it the fridge or there are two fridges in there, but one is dead. I'm sure it's just gas and they are old and all that. And I think the other one works. I haven't checked. But I know one of them is massive. Let it just go. But the one in the kitchen, I was just seeing that. At first I thought, the money. You guys say, eh? No, 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 no. As carnal mindedness, you are not thinking of the money. That's physical realm. You are thinking spiritually. And to think spiritually means everything you desire already exists. You are incapable of imagining what does not exist. Your imagination is where all this thinking takes place. If the ability to steal and kill did not exist, thieves will not think about it. It exists. You just need someone who has thinking, horrible thinking, to imagine it, come with their friends, plan it, and carry it out. That's all. That's all. We that we think of good things, we're not thinking of killing anybody, doing anything to anybody. We don't think that we just say, hey God, when will the money come? The thieves don't care that they know they might be caught, they might be killed, they might be burnt if they are caught, they might be put in jail for life. Their lives will be crazy. They may never see their parents again, their wives, if they are married, their children. They know now, but they still go ahead. They're not waiting for clarity. They go ahead and they carry it out with impunity, and many of them succeed. Otherwise, we won't be hearing all these bad stories. How about you that you're thinking right? Read the book of Proverbs every day. Today is November 22. Read chapter 22. I said read, oh. I didn't say go and study. It will flow. Tomorrow, read chapter 23. Next day after that, read chapter 24. Every day of your life. When a month like this month has 30 days, read chapter 30 and 31 that day. I do it every day. You get wiser, understanding will descend. There are some things you will just realize, and this and this. For example, one of the reasons I'm secure in knowing Nigeria is transforming is there is a lot of stuff about people who steal, about people who don't take care of those that they should take care of, people who lie, cheat, who are deceitful. It's coming to meet them. It's coming to meet them. Nobody needs to curse them. It's according to the law of the universe. It's coming to say hello. They're going to be cleansed out. They will be. Every single one of their craziness. So, what I want to say to you, sir, is you need to see your business. of businesses happening. How you go, I call it a thinking journey. You go on the entire journey. And that's what learning how to meditate. Your eyes are closed and you are seeing in your imagination how your business started, how these clients are rushing at you, how you're working with this client who wants that. And there are specifics, you know what they are. Your imagination will bring them up for you. You say, okay, and I did this work, and you see yourself saying, oh, and I earned this amount this month, and no, and there is extra, no, that's not enough. I want 1 million naira this month. And then, okay, yeah, like I can get this for my wife. We save this, we do that, we do the other, we push some cash injection into the salon, we bring it to this level, this standard. We now start sending our workers to home visits for wealthy people who live in this area of Abuja. You know, you start to expand. You see it all in your imagination. As I had my eyes closed saying that, that's what I was seeing for both of you. I saw, I was just seeing everything I said. I didn't just say it out, I was seeing it. Once you get in there, you create your business before you step out. Before you go into the salon, you should see the people that will come in, and everything will be peaceful. And when you finish with them, see how excited they are when they are leaving. See them telling their friends, you need to go to this salon. Hey, the level of the quality, the standard, the way they welcome you, the way they talk to you, the work they do for you. They don't give excuses. If you don't like something, it's okay. Also, they don't mess about. If you come in to start abusing them, shouting, screaming, they will walk you to the door and they will say, please, can you leave? Because we have clients here that we look after. We don't want any noise here. We can deal with your query, but if you just be patient and wait for the owner to, or whatever it is. Likewise, that's how you leave work. That's how you leave work. That's how you leave your 9 to 5. Because you already know what you're supposed to do. And that's how you are not afraid that whether you make money or not. Once you stick to it, my thoughts change the algorithm on YouTube. I've told you, haven't I? This algorithm, it changed the algorithm. I was not looking for millionaires. Trillionaires came on my timeline because I had started thinking that, look, the amount of money I want to earn at the end of this year, all this one I'm doing small, it's not going to, I will never get there. How many people do I want to work with? I said, no, I need to work with powerful. The first thing that came was, I didn't realize the algorithm had changed till I got this trillionaires. But before then, I just saw a video. Top 25 richest families in Nigeria. I said, eh? Nah. I sit down with notebook and pen, taking notes, right? Only to find that my brother was in the same class, same college with the Hebrew family, the top of the. I said, what? And he's number 2. The Hebrew family are number 2 of the 25. I said, no, is this God or is this God? I said, Uncle Egbon, my big brother, I beg introduce. Tell him this, only for the man to need to go into hospital and do some operations. And since my brother is one of his doctors, I was getting down. Then I traveled, then he traveled, that he has just come back. And I can now carry on. Hey, so as he come out of hospital now, let's carry on with that. Because he will talk to me. He will, of course, he will talk because my brother is his classmate. Since Monday to list the top 50 companies in Nigeria. Honestly, if you type it, you will find them. Only today, I found out that you can hire people on Fiverr who will go and look for the direct email address to the CEO.
Yes, so that Fiverr, there are so many things I've seen on that Fiverr that can be done.
Yes, you tell them.
I've used actually. I've used one that their job, I told the person to find me, they find me 70 podcasts on a particular topic with their email addresses and they check all of them.
Come on, there you go. I think I need to do that because I want to appear on podcasts. And when sometimes you get cold feet, the best thing for you to talk to, Richard, is Tayo. There's something we women have. Your wife, not every woman, your particular wife, that she will tell you, eh? I know. I don't think she will say you will make it. When you get out there, your eye will open. You will know what to do. You will know where to. I wanted somebody to hire me, and they were going to pay 4.5 million, but they said no. And she will look at you. They don't know who they are saying no to. She will keep quiet. She will go and pray, or she will encourage you, inspire you, whatever. And then she will call them back. They say, "Do you not know who you are supposed to pay 4.5 million?" It's to my husband. And they will come back. Watch, they will come back. So make sure all these things that are coming to you, make sure you keep them in your heart and work on them. Don't leave your wife to one side and let me just be doing it. She won't understand. It's not true. The only person that will get you as deeply as you get you is your wife. And she's the only one who will say, "Come on, my husband, come on, let's do this, let's do." You be saying, rub your back, rub your head, inspire you, encourage you. Thankfully, both of you know this techie stuff. So she'll probably put some things in place. Which one don't you want to do? I will do that part. Oh yeah, be going. Go with God, go with power. Ordinary phone calls will come through and you'll be closing people. You'll be saying, I'm closing everybody. Yes, now before it's what your wife will say. You have to, because the money that's entering the account now. Be ready. Are you ready, my husband? Are you ready? Just share it with her, and you see amazing things happen. Without fail, man after man after man after man has told, wow, if my wife said this to me every day, there isn't anything I cannot do. I will go out there to conquer every time without fail. Man after man after man after share it. If she doesn't know what to do, she will tell you. But she will say, okay, don't worry, I'll pray. And when she says that, oh, trust, a woman gets on her face about her husband, are you playing? Which if was the name? Fearlessly pronouncing matters. And you know, we are ferocious in our place of prayer. Yes. We don't play with our family members. We don't. Whether it's husband or child, we don't. Does anybody have anything to add? Any question? But sorry, before you answer, you need to give your yeah, I'm not allowed to say that. You need to decide when you are leaving the office.
Okay.
Before you leave, start to put some things together with your wife. Begin to meditate how you want the business to go. Write these things down, what you see. Write them down. While I was meditating the night to this morning, I saw something I've never seen. I heard it. I heard God say, I will give you geographical solutions. I said, eh? He said, I will give you geographical solutions. I understood because the name he gave me is How to Think Global Solutions Limited. So for anywhere in the globe, he will give me the solution for that geography. I've never heard that before. So that place of meditation, that place of prayer, that place of quiet, that place of peace, that place where you enter and you say, God and I am not Richard. I'm not on time. God and I are you thinking that you stay there. No rush. Think into it. You stay there. When you have to do the other things in life that need to be done, pick up the child, brush your teeth. You don't live there either until it's just normal for you. And that's the way you begin to see that when you speak with people, what they are saying will not make sense to you anymore. And you won't fight, you won't argue. You just tune out or just look at them like, okay, well, God bless you. Because once you start telling them about thinking spiritually, people will think either number one, you've left Jesus, number two, they don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. This one doesn't, this one has left God. Which one is thinking spiritually? You better not do that thing. So you don't tell people many things. Once you start this journey far, no, you can't be telling people. They will see it. They will see something about you. They will feel it when they come around you that there is something different. Something different about Richard. What are you? When we enter your salon, it's always there's just one aura. Because everybody comes with an energy. And it's not I cover this place with the blood of Jesus. It's not our words as our hearts. I remember the scripture today. It says that they call me Lord, Lord, but their heart is not with me. So it's not your words, it's your heart. Where as a man thinks in his heart, you don't let it go. God and I are one. God, I don't understand, but we are one. Help me to understand. God will give you a spirit of wisdom and the spirit of revelation in the knowledge. In the knowledge. Say that again, ma'am. I didn't hear you. Time.
No, sorry, it's not you, ma.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to adjust the volume. It's kind of low.
Oh.
Yeah.
So maybe let's her log out and log back in.
Okay. Is this clearer?
If
Is it any clearer? Because it could be because I had the Hello. I am in a class. I'll call you as soon as I'm done. She's going to bed. JJ. Oh, okay. JJ. Good night, sweetie pie. Okay.
hello, ma.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma.
All right, so what does anybody need to say? So typically me, gone out of our model, but it's important that we get it right with your job. This is how fear will disappear. You don't have to worry about how money will get into your account. It already is in your account. I will have to explain that. That's why I said read the Bible. Please read it. You will get it all. It's all in there. It will start to just flow out to you. You will see a scripture and is this what it means? To just begin to understanding, a depth of understanding will gather in your heart. And two of you are there, so you'll be able to discuss it. You'll be screaming on a daily basis. I'm serious. You say, "My God, is that what it means?" Oh my God! You will just be you'll be enlightened. You no longer religion. It just be real to you.
Hello.
Yeah. So do you have questions? You want to add anything? You have comments?
I think the major thing is that the thing I've said I've lost for quite a long time is that assurance, that faith, that seeing things and believing that God has already wants the best for you and has given you all that He has promised you. What that He has promised, He has already released it to you. So, and just living in that light and not living in the hustle, struggle, pain, uh, this thing. And it's not just about money, but also about our marriage, our relationship with each other, seeing it how we want it to be and not how it is not. Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I heard you. Not how it is not. That is called the law of non-resistance. Check that out, please.
Mm.
Law of
Okay.
non-resistance. And it's simply like, let's say your wife does not want um anybody to give her a red bag as a gift. So she keeps saying, nope, I don't want a red bag. I know I'll never have. So when she gets into a shop, she walks past the red bag. I don't want a red bag. I don't want a red bag. No, I don't want a red bag. I just want any other color but red. And then she sees her friend carrying. She goes the other direction. I say, I don't want a red bag. I don't want a red bag. What do you think she's going to get? A red bag, because she's paying attention to not wanting it. Wherever you pay attention to, that's where your energy is. So even though you are resisting it, your resistance means you are paying it attention. And that is what you get. What you are saying you don't want. But the law of non-resistance says don't resist the red bag. That doesn't mean you want it. Just don't resist it. Leave it where it is and keep looking for what you want. When you see a red bag, oh, that's a nice bag. Your friend is carrying it. Oh, you have 3. Oh, that's a nice bag. And you keep going. You keep going. You don't spend time looking at her, but I don't want. I don't like it. So instead of saying, that's why I don't like when people say, the devil is a liar. You have paid him attention. I would rather say Jesus is Lord all the time. All the time. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Yeah, that's the one that we want. Not the devil is he knows he's a liar. You and I know he's a liar. So you're not saying anything amazing there. It's not going to help. But when you say Jesus is Lord, yes, that's where your attention is. The energy is from there. And that's what you're expecting. The Lordship of Jesus over everything. So you can look with boldness at anything that stands against you. And you laugh. Or I rarely mention the devil in my life. Since we've been talking, this is the first time I've mentioned it. I rarely talk about because it doesn't feature. It doesn't feature. I have dominion. He does not feature. I am one with God. God said, let there be light after I meditated. And after that, for 6 days, he kept creating. Nothing said, no, I'm not coming. No, I'm not. I don't want to be a star. I don't want to be an elephant. Nothing deny. What's your name? In him, all things consist. He says, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, John 15:7, you will ask whatsoever you will and it shall be done to you. Do you know that's an open check? Whatsoever you will, whatsoever. But you abide in him and his word. In the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. So he also abides in you. Abide means to stay in a given place, a given relation, a given expectancy, and a given state. I found that in Strong's Concordance. I remember it by using the acronym called PRES, P-R-E-S. To abide, the given place is inside God. So you stay there. So it's a given place, a given relation. I'm related with God. We are one. A given expectancy. I'm expecting abundant life from him. And a state. This is my state of living. state of the spirit. I don't move. And his word does the same inside you. You are in him, he's in you, you are one. There is no separation, no gap, no space. What wants to happen? You just find out that good is always happening around you. After all, it says,
Mm.
goodness and mercy shall follow you. It doesn't say, in fact, the whole of Psalm 23, those 6 verses, is always good. Everything there is good. It says, even in the presence of your enemies, it sets a table. Because your enemies cannot do anything about what's on that table. You don't have to, you can't be afraid of him. Afraid. Hey, let's do this so the devil doesn't come. What? What's that? Because if the devil can just come in and mess up our lives, then then the power of God is suspect. There will be issues. If the devil can just come in and destroy, and no, he can't just do that. When Job was being tested, things were restored back double fold, double, to show you he did not have any. So we are not going to say, oh, hey, all our thing was stolen, all this. No, we are not moved. I am one with God. I sit down and I meditate on the good I desire. That's what God did in Genesis 1 verse 2. What did he want the chaotic earth to look like? He created it to in verse 1. And then verse 2 is without form, is void. God does something and is messy. Well, since when? Okay, let's fix it. He fixed it good and proper, and nothing can be done about it. Nobody can mess it up. So when people mess things up around you, you are immovable. You just look at, you don't even have to talk. It's not that empty. Jesus Lord, oh, nobody will come out. No, you're just chilled out in a place of rest. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 1 is a scary verse. It says, let us fear, lest we miss entering into the rest that was promised us. There is a rest of God. He says, let us fear lest we miss it, oh, that there is a rest that has been promised to us. It means a place of relaxation. Say, let's be afraid that we miss lest we miss it, oh. Then verse 3 says, and they did not enter into my rest because they did not mix what they heard with faith. Faith is what you can't see, you can't touch. You're still hoping for. It says what they heard, they mixed it with faith, that I have it already. What? And it's not by shouting and screaming. In fact, you go quieter and quieter and quieter. Aye. And you say, thank you, I enter into rest. And that rest is in Genesis 2, verse 2 and verse 3. Where it says, and God rested from the work he had made. And then on the seventh day. And then verse 3 says, and God sanctified the seventh day because he had rested from the work he had made. See, it's not in past tense. He has rested from what he had made. But that verse 3 of Hebrews 4 says, and they did not enter into my rest, because they had not mixed what they heard with faith, even though the work were finished from the foundation of the earth. All the toiling was finished from the foundation of the earth. From the foundation. All the toiling was done. God had finished. Everything you need already exists. You don't have to toil. Then verse 10 of Hebrews 4. It says, let us labor to enter into my rest. It's not the labor of a work hard. Oh, I'm laboring. That's not the labor. It is the labor of ease. That when I come in here, you will take care of me. That's what it says. It says, let us labor therefore, verse 11. Verse 10. For he that is entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, as God did from his. Oh, he rested. He expects you to be rested. Things should just be flowing. But you and the thing must be at the same, be one. The energy must be the same. At the beginning, it will be like, which one is this woman saying? Listen to Neville Goddard more and more, and watch him. And other names will come to you. Listen to the law of non-resistance. It's almost
Mm.
backwards. It's like, but this is the way we used to go. But this is saying, do not fear. Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear. His mighty right hand of righteousness is on you. Relax, chill. The works have been finished from the foundation of the earth. There is nothing more for you to do but believe. When they came to tell that guy who was going after Jesus, they said, Master, do not bother the master anymore. Your daughter is dead. Do you know what Jesus said? Jesus was on his way there. His servants came, don't worry, she has died. Jesus said, fear not. Only believe. You know how many years we've all been reading this story? I stopped. I said, why did he say, fear not? And then he says, only. If you're going to do anything, this is the only thing you should do. Believe. I said, because when somebody says, they say you'll be afraid. That fear is the opposite of faith. Faith and belief are similar words. One is pistis and one is pistos in the Greek. Only, he said, the only thing you should do is just to be thinking of how your daughter is alive and awake, and how she's laughing and she's saying, Daddy, and she's run upstairs, she's gone downstairs, she's gone to eat, she's gone to cook, she's gone to play with her friends, she's gone out, she's come back. That's how to think. That's thinking spiritually. Even though they've said to you she's dead, that's how you keep thinking. She's coming here, she's going there, and as soon as you get into the house, you see her run up to you, say hello. You don't care that when you walk into the house with Jesus, they take you to her bed and she's lying there dead. You just see her, say hello, or you see your wife, Madame Proper. You see the government, Aso Rock, say, we have heard of somebody has opened a new salon and she only works with top women, corporate women, women in government, the level, the standard of her service. My goodness. This is serious. You're not saying, the other salons. You're not thinking that way. These salons have been around for years before me. Is that what you want? You don't even go there. You bless those other salons, and then you sit there in a place of meditation, you see your own. You just keep seeing it. In the place of meditation, you see the people that come to work, the nail tech, the hair people, all the different, you see how your deliveries and your supplies come on time. You see how some people, they do the hair, the wigs, whatever, and the designs, the styles are like OMG. When she goes out with her hair, she tells her other rich friend, sister, go to the salon. They have one person. Then in it, you will see that it's not one person. You have three, you have four. And then you see that they don't work for you forever. You set them up. They are so good. You say you to have your own salon. Go. Because that's part of what you are to do. You help others get, my. You guys are sitting on a gold mine. Hey, you're sitting on a gold mine. Is in the place of meditation, you bring it to pass. Exactly how God did it. And he says, the Spirit of God moved. He doesn't say the body or Jesus. It's the Spirit of God moved. You too, you will move over anything chaotic in your life. You will move over it the way you want it to be. That's all you do. Every day. 10 times a day, 15 times a day, 3 times a day. You just take that moment, go to the toilet, keep quiet, close your eyes, see it as you want it. You can even change you can remake. Somebody walks in a salon, they're angry, they're mad, they walk out. When I come back here, if everything is not done, you're thieves. And then you go into the toilet and you replay it the way you want it to go. You can do that. That's how powerful God has made us. You replay it. You go to your office, you see your CEO saying, ah, Richard, we don't want you to go. Since you've been here, so and so and so and then you play the bit how you want it to go. You say, I'm happy to stay with you as a consultant. This is how much it will be. I can only come in one. No, you are not coming in. I work from home. This is how it will work. You supply all the equipment, laptop,
Yeah.
limit, everything. You play it in your heart. You see it in your imagination, and you give God praise for every time you be thanking God. Ah, yeah, Lord, look at that beauty. And you keep going. You don't start the conversation. Because they are the ones who will find you. I say, hello, uncle. Are you planning on leaving? Oh yeah, did you know? Yeah, I'm going to put in my resignation. Ah, but you do know you have to give us 3 months notice, 10 months or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm fully aware. Ah, but Richard, you can't go now. Ah, uncle, I have to go. But I loved working here. I think you guys have a great system going. I would love to be your external, you know, consultant. I mean, it just makes sense to me. I already know how things work. I've been in it. You don't want to get another kind of consultant, someone who does not even know how things work. I think I'm your best bet, and this is what I would do for you. But you go and meditate. You would have seen that so many times. By the time you open your mouth, they be the ones say, we want to hire you as a consultant. What price? Name your price. Name your price. Don't be afraid to name your price. Once you see it in that invisible realm, just name your price. Once you see your prices going up, Zion, increase them. Don't worry, you will be calling the right people. Because some people will never enter your salon because you don't charge enough. No matter how pretty it is, you don't charge enough. It's like going to Marks and Spencer or go to Gucci. Why don't Gucci? Why do I want to go to Marks and Spencer when my money that's talking is the Gucci level, it's the Louis Vuitton level? But if you are not charging, after all, people were already making shoes before Louis Vuitton came. They were making bag before Louis Vuitton came. And he made his own and put money on it. And then he puts a brand, red color. Is it not red color? Not be red like normal red. On that shoe. And then we say, oh, you wearing a Louis Vuitton shoe. You're wearing a and he put big money. You too, put your own style, put your own brand, and put your own color. You must constantly be innovative, something different. When people say, oh, what do you do? And I tell them, they say, oh, you do mindset. I said, no, I don't do mindset with anybody. I said, there are great mindset coaches, but that's not what I do. I do thought set. I go to the roots because that's what will determine what the fruits are. So there is no point plucking rotten fruit of the tree. It is from the roots that is rotten. So let's get the roots right, which is the thoughts. Everything else will be good after that. Then it will set your mind. You know, I can talk till next week, so or next year. Sorry, yikes, it's almost then. So
It's fine.
It's fine, man. This has been a lot packed into one session, and it's been a lot of value. I just to brood on it and then begin to think on it also. I think it's more of the more we think on it, the more it becomes part of our thoughts.
exactly. Got it.
So it's to make
Go
sure,
to this way.
like the past this month, I've been believing God for a specific amount of money. Yes, so, and that's what I've been praying on. I've refused to think any other thought about it. So and just been praying on it, and then even doing some faith works on it, and just believing. So it's just to practice it the more.
Yes, correct. That's what to do. That's what to do. Bless the name of the Lord. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
Thank you
much.
so much.
You know, it blesses my heart that you allow me to serve you this way. And your marriage be an epistle other people read. and they will say, this is how to do marriage. Watch. It's an epistle other people. And Tayo, young women are going to come to you.
Yeah.
Some old women are also going to come to you, older than you. And they say, you're a wise woman. What did you do? How are you doing it that this your home is solid like this? You have money, you have picking, you have fine husband. You have fine house. Teach us, teach us, teach us. And they will come. Don't turn them away. It's going to be something you'll be doing on the side till you won't have time for anything else. And it will bloom and blossom into something big, because there are many marriages in trouble in this country. So many. So, especially in church, and they are smiling and they are, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God help us. All right, sister and my brother, the Lord is with you. Stay real strong.
Thank you,
Thank
Mama.
you so much,
God
Ma,
bless.
for taking out this time for us.
Oh
Thank you
no,
so
no,
much.
it's a joy. Esomchi, I love you. When I come to Abuja, I'll see you.
Yes, so
Yes,
can't wait.
yes. Stay strong, my brother, my sisters.
Thank
Rest
you
well.
so much.
All right
Yes.
then.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.